the sound of your intentions. Paint them as best as I can with what I know. Maybe I've blended the colors all wrong, and maybe I've altered the shades to suit myself. But maybe I'll paint you a portrait with all your hues, and maybe I'll find all the textures you've hidden there. Actions speak louder, they say. All right. Hello. It is time for the weekly Wednesday Warble, and I don't know, is my camera in a weird spot? Who knows? We're all good. So this week, we've got two more before I go on tour, and I had planned something different for this week. But then I didn't, I'm actually not happy with that plan. So we're moving on to a different plan. So instead of a theme, I'm just going to play some of the songs that you might hear me play on tour. I'm about to head out through eastern Canada, the eastern half of Canada, eastern and central, from St. John's, Newfoundland to London, Ontario. And, what was I going to say about that? Next week, the weekly Wednesday Warble is going to be, I'm going to perform my new album cover to cover. But this week, I'm just going to play 10 songs that you might hear me play on tour. There we go. All right, so I'm going to start with this one from my EP, Vagaries. Warm sun, bare skin, braced for cold, shocking pleasure of immersion. Let my toes grip the sand, extend my arms, caress the surface, and wait. Gentle are the waves. The big spray hits when I'm not looking, takes advantage of my lapse, scoops my body up and slams my insignificant form down to drag along the bottom, dislodging snails and habitations. Hair like netting catches seaweed, tangles around my face and throat, choking salt, spitting liquid, I'm ejected, used, exhausted. Bobbing like the wooden treasures, shapes softened and displaced by the ocean. There's the wave. So another one that we're likely to break out. This is from my first album. No, it isn't. settled in the fibers of the carpet on one edge where the tape was less secure. I did my best to soak it up, but latex hardens much too swiftly for my reflexes to stare. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job. There go my endeavors for a perfect home. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things. I poured over too many sheets of weight. Who knew such a number could exist? It was far more complicated than I was expecting, and by the end of it, just kind of picked one. Well, there goes all that time that I spent thinking. There goes all my planning, all my careful choice. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. So many jagged edges where a hose cut for piping, or a molding isn't quite flush to the wall. I broke so many tiny brushes made of foam just trying to jam that paint into those corners. When it was all done, there were still spaces, places that I missed where the old shows through. And in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. All right, there is in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. I think I will play. I was going to play, it's funny, when songs start in the same chord, sometimes you write songs and they're in the same key, and they have the same, they start with the same chord or whatever, and sometimes you start to play one and the other one jumps into your head, which is what happened there. So now I'm going to have a sip of water and then play Wedgwood Pattern. So we're going to sit here in the same key. On a dusty road in a small town in Ontario, trying to get the kids to school on time. Married 14 years and nothing really the matter. Eloise really had just one complaint. Now Eloise didn't ask for much in this life, and Eloise got little in return. She was happy enough in the town she always said she'd come back to. She was happy enough in the town that she never left. Wedgwood Pattern, Sarah's Garden, botanical Latin written on every plate. Driving into town to buy the groceries. She walked past Mary Ann's store every week, and in the window and inside on the counters, Sarah's garden dishes were for sale. Well, she memorized every cup and every saucer. The tattered brochure stored beneath her bed. cherished it like the diamond ring it gave her. And now hard-boiled eggs are her favorite thing to eat. But Eloise has this fantasy regarding a tea party in a wild grove, all natural table and chairs, and in every chair a full place setting, matching spoons and all, and everyone who is anyone is there. Soup bowls and salad bowls, platters and jugs, teacups and coffee mugs, gravy bowls too, flowers and butterflies, beetles and bees. Each piece is different, well knows Eloise. Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's garden, botanical Latin written on every plate. Salt and pepper never looked better. Ladybugs crawling all over the cups. Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's garden. There we go. I got the giggles while I was playing that. Sometimes I get the giggles while I'm singing my songs, and I managed to hold it together rather well, I thought. Hey, we've got John Casey in the house. How are you? How are you? Good to see you here. I'm just 3 songs into my 10 songs, and I'm just telling someone else how to get here. There we go. All right. So I'm preparing to go on tour. I'm going on tour next week. So next Wednesday will be the last Wednesday Warble for, I think, 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? Yes, I'm gone for 2 weeks. I'm not really saying there'll definitely be no weekly Wednesday Warble, because I might actually be somewhere where I can broadcast from on 1 or 2 of those Wednesdays, but I'm leaving those open to the universe. But what I'm doing today is just playing through some of the songs that I'll be playing on the road. And then next week, I'm going to play all 12 songs from my new album, which I'm also going to be playing on the road. But one of the songs, you're headed to Boston tomorrow. Are you, we've talked about hockey, haven't we? Boston just like has won the most games in a season of any NHL team ever in the history of the NHL, which is totally wild. What's bringing you to Boston? I'm going to sing a song about a journey that's closer than Boston. This is a song about going for a walk in the woods. Hey, we've got Kara Windsor here. Do you know about my growing collection of floral blazers, Kara? Oh, a nice short, a vacation in Boston. That sounds very nice. Are you, do you have anything in particular you're going to see or do, or are you just like, Boston is a nice city, let's go there for vacation? I was feeling kinda grumpy, couldn't be bothered with anything. Got up and put my shoes on, out the door, go see what's out there. I walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours, how good it is to go out for a walk. Saw what looked like bunny tracks, I followed them and fell into eat some berries on its shore, where I was scolded by the birds, and then some chipmunks told me off. Visited a frog beside a brook and picked some daisies for a chain. I dodged some ATVs and turned around because I saw a moose walk down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. It's good to go out walking. How good it is to go out. It's good to go out for a walk. All right, so John's going to the Baseball Hall of Fame, which is that'll be fun. I love the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, so I'm sure the Baseball Hall of Fame in Boston is has all sorts of ridiculously interesting things in it. Carrie said hi and then crashed. Such is the way of computers. That sounds perfect. Red Sox game, art museums, a sporting event, an art museum. That's my kind of trip. That is my kind of trip. All right. I feel like I don't know if it looks like next. Actually, I'm gonna do. So we're playing a few bars and breweries, and so I'm mixing a few covers for those kind of places. And I'm just trying to make sure I've got this one under my fingers. And Kara, you'll like this one. Well, John, hopefully you'll like it as well. I like it. I like this song a lot. So this tour I'm going on, yeah, exactly. Hopefully FAI goes to Toronto sometime soon. I'll absolutely go to FAI. If they go to Toronto, and me and you will go hit the Hall of Fame together. That should be our plan. And the ROM, a quick detour. Not the last time I played Toronto, but was it on the New Shoes tour? Anyway, I played a show in Toronto, and I just had the most amazing day there. Like, I kind of ended up with a full day in Toronto. I guess it was the day of the show, but I was there, like I got there the night before, so I woke up in Toronto. I didn't have to drive there. I woke up in Toronto, and I went to Riverdale Farms. I think I was staying in the student residence, and I went to Riverdale Farms and the Allen Gardens, which is a beautiful garden. There was a shoe exhibit. There was a Manolo Blahnik shoe exhibit at the Beta Shoe Museum, so I went to that. And then I came out of that, and I went to the Christian Louboutin store, where there's a permanent Christian Louboutin exhibit, basically. Whoa. And then I was walking past the ROM, which is the Royal Ontario Museum, and they were having an exhibit on spiders that had live spiders, and an iris hairpin exhibit. And she's another fashion designer. Shoes and dresses that I just adore. So I went there. So I just had this like full ridiculous day of taking in the sights. And then I went and played my show, and it was like, man, Toronto. There are things to do in Toronto. But it was like there were farm animals, there was a beautiful garden, there was a whole lot of shoes, and there were spiders, and there was a black widow spider there that was just like exquisite. And I've actually wrote a song about all of these things, but I haven't played it in a while, so I'm not going to play it now. but one of these streams I'll pull that out. You didn't have a care for a confused friend? Yeah, that trip to Toronto, I didn't have to care for a confused friend. Another time, so Kara here is a stand-up comic, and she had a gig in Toronto, and I was living in Montreal, and I took the bus to Toronto to like help her get around, and I wanted to see the show. So yeah, we didn't do quite as many things that day. I think I was in Toronto for less than 24 hours that day. But all that to say, this tour that I'm going on now is all about storytelling, because me and Paul Kafke, who's the musician I'm touring with, musically, I mean, we're both under the folk umbrella, but we're a fair bit different. That's my mother texting to say she can't get on. Oh well, that's why I was giggling during one of the earlier songs. We'll put that away. What was Kyla saying? Oh yes, storytelling. Good to my confused friends. Sometimes I get confused too. This whole tour, the thing that me and my tour mate Paul have in common is that we like to tell stories with our songs. And so I think it's not all that surprising that any covers that I choose tell great stories, and I think this one tells a great story. And I'll have a sip of water after all that. I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride, a sword and pistol by my side. Many a maid lost her baubles to my trade. Many a soldier shed his lifeblood on my blade. The bastards hung me in the spring of 25, but I'm still alive. Is a good song. The Highwayman by the Highwaymen. I do love an eponymous song. I do love a band that like writes a song that includes the name of their band. I think that's a fine thing. All right, I'm gonna play a couple songs. I'm gonna pull my lyrics up just in case, but I'm pretty sure I don't need them. But I feel like I was like, this is one I'm definitely gonna play on tour, and then I think I forgot that I was planning to do this one on the tour, so let's make sure we've got this one. insufferable, posturing on full display, beaten muscles flexing, studs rally to get out to prove who's master of the nursery. There's more, I could not care less who wins. Give me a mate who rides the riptide, doing magics on the ocean waves, undulating. Give me a gentle, graceful, free-sailing skate punk. Someone who lives to the full and doesn't worry about what's expected. Someone who lives on the edge and sees the beauty and not the danger. Give me a mate who rides the riptide, doing mad tricks on the ocean waves, undulating. Give me a gentle, graceful, free-sailing skate punk. Give me a gentle, graceful, free-sailing skate punk. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I like that one too. I'm glad you like that one, Kara. I think I'd almost forgotten that one was one of the ones I was wanting to do. All right, I'm going to. Are you doing Swimsuit and Axe on tour? Yes, I am. I sure am. And I'll be doing it next week on the weekly Wednesday Warble when I play through the entire album. But yes, Swimsuit and Axe is definitely going to appear throughout this tour. I'm playing St. John's on the 22nd of April at the Ship Pub, with Liz Fagan, who has an incredible voice. So if you haven't heard them, you should come down. I have not made, well, we've got the playoffs. In the shoe playoffs, and Pink and Pattern are going to face off next week. But Gem and the Holograms is ahead of Barbie by a mile, I think. I think Zebra is slightly in the lead. I need to check the numbers. I've got polls running on like every different social media platform, and so I think it'll also be kind of interesting to be like, you know, to look at that data and be like, is there any you know, are there like, do the TikTokers like one more than the other? Do the Facebookers like one more than the other? That kind of thing. And then there's 2 more rounds. Well, there's 2 more divisions, and then the first round is done, and next week we get round 2, and we should get the rest of the shoe decision. The snakeskin heels that I'm wearing on my album cover, though, are definitely coming. So I'm budgeting for I'm budgeting space for 3 pairs of shoes, and the possibility, and I'm always keep the possibility open that once I get to Toronto and I walk down Queen Street West where all the shoe stores are, and I go into Original, my very favorite shoe store, that I'm going to find something amazing and buy it there. But that's at the end of the tour. Paul Kafke. Paul Kafke is the person coming with me from Ontario. We've got different people playing with us in some of the different spots. Yeah, and Paul, we did a little Instagram live yesterday, and it's just like, Paul sounds like a record that was recorded in the 30s. Like it's really exciting. I think he's really got I don't know, he's got a vibe that I quite like. So no, the 22nd of April. We're playing the Ship on the 22nd of April. All right. I should probably sing another song. so very excited about this tour coming up. You know what I'm going to sing next? This is one that I hadn't planned on doing on the tour, but I'm thinking I might want to actually spend a little bit of time this week learning it, because I think it might be fun. This sort of came out of the blue on one of my Twitch streams. Someone just asked if I knew this song, and I was like, oh, I know this song. I bet I can learn it immediately, and that's what I did. And I think I'm gonna. Oh, is that your birthday? That's your birthday, isn't it? I'm like my mother, and I don't know people's birthdays. I do know that your birthday is in April, though. So I'm playing a show for your birthday. I hope you come. All right, I'm gonna sing this song, and maybe this will be a yay or nay. Do you think I should pull this out on tour? So this is a cover. This is, I think this is this the McGarrigle sisters? I feel like this is a McGarrigle sisters song. You can make it all about you. That'll be fine. That'll be fine and fun. If you ask any girl from the parish around what pleases her most from her head to her toes, she'll say, I'm not sure that it's business of yours, but I do like to waltz with the log driver, for he goes barreling down and down the white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. It's barreling down and down the white water. A log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. When the drive's nearly over, I like to go down and watch all the lads as they work on the river. I know that come evening they'll be in the town. Oh, we all like to waltz with the log driver, for he goes barreling down and down the white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. It's barreling down and down the white water. A log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. To please both my parents, I've had to give way and dance with the doctors and merchants and lawyers. Their manners are fine, but their feet are of clay, for there's none with the style of my log driver, for he goes barreling down and down white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. It's barreling down and down the white water. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. Now I've had my chances with all sorts of men, but none are so fine as my lad on the river. So when the drive's over, if he asks me again, I think I will marry my log driver, for he goes barreling down and down the white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. It's barreling down and down the white water. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. Barreling down and down the white water. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely. Was that an in? This song is in. I gotta learn these words. I almost know all these words anyway. Anyone who grew up in Canada at a certain period in time kind of knows all these words, because this was on TV all the time. All right. I'll add it to the show if I can fit it in. Yes, all right. Yeah, it's fine. I've never thought about doing that song as a cover at all, and I was just playing songs, and someone was asking for like really obscure Scottish songs, and I was like, oh, I don't know that one. Oh, I don't know that one. And then they were like, wait a minute, what about this one? And I was like, oh yeah, I can pull those words up and figure that one out. All right, now I think we'll move on to this song, which used to be a staple, and then I sort of stopped doing it and became slightly less of a staple, so I want to re-staple it. All been made. They have no reverence for Darwin's great book. What will become of us? What will become of our field? I was about to say what will become of our tour. What will become of our tour if I add this and that to the song? What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. In my day we used our eyes, yes, we used our senses, 5, even that 5th sense. We used time to time, 6th sense. Long days and weeks we spent determining characteristics, put every specimen in the right. What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. The systemist these days got no taste for describing species. Spend their time denying our argument. They got a better method, ours are childish and data. They stare and call us pretend scientists. What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. First came those lazy counters dependent on computers, punching in data, ignoring insight. Automation, not observation, that is their mantra. The likeness vector, their ultimate quest. New age numerological nuts. What will become of us? And those arrogant beach bums insist that we got it all. Put all their faith in a DNA test. Look down their nose and instinct at their machine husband. Exotistic Gladys insists we're all fish. Heresy, I say, and that's not the worst of it. What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. Once it's identified, it needs a name. Surely the species is mightier than the sword. Immortalize heroes and friends, eternally mocking our rivals, baptizing noble beasts, infernally naming slugs. How like a god I felt. But the kids working these days got no sense of propriety. They have no grasp on the glory at stake. It takes class to classify, their choices are mystifying. No self-respect, no integrity. Spongiform, a square pansy indeed. What has become of us? What has become of our field? How did it come to this? The last taxonomist. I sit and ponder the future. For one day our species will go into space. Happening any Mariana stretch beyond. Oh, then we'll analyze samples brought home on the Space Beagle. Then when the knowledge is gone, when mankind has lost our art, the fools will regret what they've done. Just think of the kingdoms and islands waiting to be recognized. They're in that vast expanse. I wish I could be alive. What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. What will become of us? What will become of our field? Who will come after us? The last taxonomist. Playing a bunch of university towns. Hopefully we'll get some, biologists there. Okay, I think I've got time for about 2 more songs. And I know exactly what they're going to be. We're going to start with something quite silly. But true. This is a true story. I'm not making that up. It really is a true story. I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a secondhand store. I didn't mention it, I just accepted. Put it in my bag and got out of there. Put it in the cupboard, it moved with 2 apartments. Couldn't bear the thought of leaving it behind. I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a secondhand store. I had that box of graham crackers around for several years because they don't go bad. It came in handy for sweet cravings, and every time I ate one I had a little laugh. What kind of cookie has an origin story? Would I ever uncover its mysterious past? I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a secondhand store. But why would a clothing store be handing out crackers? How did they get so many boxes to begin with? Did someone see a deal they couldn't walk away from? Did someone rob a truck and find a disappointing cargo? Did someone just believe a graham cracker could make your day? What kind of regulations did that giveaway fall under? I had that box of graham crackers sitting in the cupboard when the hurricane hit. Half empty and long forgotten, back behind the flour and the wall can't melt. Cream cheese in the freezer, afraid of losing power. Make the best use of the perishables. Kept the box of graham crackers coming to the rescue when the road was washed out. But why would a clothing store be handing out crackers? How did they get so many boxes to begin with? Did someone see a deal they couldn't walk away from? Did someone rob a truck and find a disappointing cargo? Did someone just believe a graham cracker could make your day? What kind of regulations did that giveaway fall under? I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a secondhand store. Oh. And, oh, where did it go? Where is my tuner? I've got one more song for you today, and I require my guitar tuner, which came off my guitar because I've been playing, this is my my Yarigaki classical. Let me give Kyla a minute to talk about her guitars. This is kind of my main guitar for recording and live streaming, but it's a little delicate. I don't take it on tour. A, it doesn't have a pickup in it, and B, the amount of strain of cross-Canada touring on wood with temperature differences and bumps and bruises and all that. I don't like to take this guitar on the road, so I have a road guitar, which is my Yamaha Silent Classical, which is an electric classical guitar. So I've been practicing my sets with that, so my tuner that usually just lives here has been walking around lately. Anyway, I need to drop down to D for this one. So I put a little EP out in, what month are we? In February. Oh, in March. It was the 1st of March. I put a little EP out, which is kind of a little teaser EP of music I plan to release in the next year, next 12 months. this is the opening song. I might be lying, it might not be the opening song, but I think it is. Weekly Wednesday Warble for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a little different. Instead of doing the theme, I guess the theme was songs I'm going to take on the road with me. Next week is probably the last one for 2 weeks, but I may pop up in case I end up somewhere where I can actually broadcast, but I'm not going to, you know, commit myself to that, because that might not be the case. But next week I will be here for the Weekly Wednesday Warble, and I will be performing my new album, Bloom and Grow, from cover to cover, because I'll be performing all of those songs on the tour. So thank you so much, and thank you, John. And John, have a great trip to Boston. I'm excited for your perusal of the Baseball Hall of Fame and art museums. Once again, these are the things Kyla likes to do in traveling as well. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll be back next week. And if you happen to live in Canada, somewhere between St. John's, Newfoundland, and London, Ontario, there's a good chance I am coming to your town. So come out and see me. Take care. We'll see you guys next time. If we remember how to end the stream on YouTube.